Let's take a look at how to create a vertical alignment. So we've already designed a horizontal alignment. Now we have to create a vertical alignment if we want to use it either for stakeout in the field or if we want to use it to create a design surface. There's multiple ways of adding a vertical alignment to your drawing. If you've already created the vertical alignment in Microsurvey, then all you have to do in the design ribbon is read in a VRT file. There we go. It will always prompt you as to whether you want to add the profile to an existing grid or if you want to create a new one. In this case, I have to create a new one. I'll give it a name. I'll say OK to that, and then it just asks, where do you want to draw it? I'll pick that in there. Finally, it's prompting me for the name for the vertical alignment. I'll just hit enter for bgrid 0. And if I zoom in, there's a designed vertical alignment. Let me show you another method. So I'll close this drawing. Next, what I'll show you is the more comprehensive method, where this will allow us to extract a profile along the horizontal alignment, and that'll allow us to design a vertical surface for ourselves. So to do that, I'll go to Extract Existing Ground Profile. Here it's going to prompt me for which of the surfaces that I have in memory do I want to extract from. So I'll pick on Design. And now it asks me which of the horizontal alignments do you want to extract a profile for. I'm picking Driveway and OK. Now it's identified the min-max stationings and the min-max elevation. You can modify those if you need to. I'm going to leave my vertical exaggeration at 2, and I'll just pick on OK. Now it asks for a location to draw the grid. I'll pick that here. And so what you can see now is it's created a grid that will fit our vertical alignment, and it's prompting me, do I want to design a new alignment? I'll just pick on no, just so that you can see that if I had said yes, it would allow me, it would simply launch this command. So here I'm relaunching the command. I'm telling it I want to work with an existing grid, and the grid to work with is the one called bgrid 0. Let's give it a name. This will be Driveway. Okay, and now it allows me to graphically pick where I want my alignment to go. So if we look at the profile, you'll remember how over here we've used Auto Site Design to build a building pad, and if you look there, there's the very top of the fill slope. So I want to make sure that my vertical profile matches up perfectly with the top of the building pad. So we're setting station 0, and it's going to have exactly 119 as the elevation. You can overwrite this if you need to. I'll pick on OK, and now we're ready to go. And now what I think I'll do is I'll just create a single element in this vertical profile. So we're going to put a little bit of a vertical curve. So for now, I'll pick my PI location right there. For convenience, I can round it to an even stationing, or I can, you've got other options here. For example, I can go back and I can pick in the drawing if I want to pick a new location for it. But let's go back to that even stationing. As soon as I say OK, then it creates the PI, and notice how it's labeled the grade as well. So for the next VPI location, let's go right to the end here. So I'm snapping to the grid. And again, it just shows me what the elevation and the stationing would be. Now in this case, I'd like to explicitly make that last tangent have a slope of -7. So I'll just create it that way. And that way it calculates what the elevation should be. And you can see it labels it with the appropriate grade. When I'm finished, I can hit enter. And now it's going to prompt me to go to the next logical step, which is edit the vertical profile. Again, I'll say no to that, just so that I can show you that if you do happen to cancel it, you can restart the command here. So here it's allowing me the option to add or delete the new PVIs that I've just created, I can move them. One of the things that I can do is freeze or thaw the grid, so I'll do that just to tidy things a little bit. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some curvature to that middle PVI. I hit C, and I pick on the VPI here. And then it asks me, what is the method you want to specify the vertical curve? In this case, I'm going to type in a length for it. So you just hit T for type, and I want it to be 100 feet long. And so you can see that it has drafted in the curve, and so you can see that it's slightly off center, and the VPI is in the same location as before. Now, I'll hit escape so that I can go back one step in the command hierarchy, and let me unfreeze that grid again so that we get the final result. And if I hit escape again, then the vertical profile is created. And here it's offering me a chance to go on to the next logical step of creating a design surface, but I'm not going to do that. So the last method for creating a vertical curve is manually creating one. So we'll just make another one in the same drawing here. So I'll go to Design a Vertical Alignment to get started. It asks, do you want to draw a new profile grid or use an existing? Again, I'm going to make it a new one. I could actually add my profile to the one that I've already got. And in this case, I'm not creating one from a surface, but instead I'm manually entering what I want the limits of my alignment to be. So in this case, I want it to start at station 0, and then I'm going to go to 319.97, so that matches the horizontal alignment I've got in this same drawing. My top elevation, which is going to be at station 0, is going to be 119. That's the height of that building pad. And then the bottom elevation is going to be roughly, it's going to be 101, but I'm going to make it 100. And actually, let's fix this. I want to make my top elevation an even 10, just for tidiness. And this one I'll call driveway 2. Leaving a vertical exaggeration at 2. You can control how the grid is drawn over here and how the elevations are labeled by modifying these variables, but I'll just leave it at the default. Now it asks for a location in the drawing, so we'll just create one just below the first one. Okay, and then a name for the vertical alignment, call it driveway 2. Okay, so now we're on to the next step where we're doing the same thing as we did up here, but now we don't have a profile to use as a guide. So in this case, you're just going to use your CAD snaps. I'll just turn on the nearest snap, and I'll just draft it in. Same process as before. You can modify the stationings if you need to. But chances are you're going to have a paper plan at your side when you're doing this, and you'll know exactly what the numbers are. Here I'll just draft it in, say OK there, and escape to get out of that command, edit the vertical profile, and at this point it would be the same process as with the other one, except now you just don't have the ground profile. Okay, and that's a summary of all the different ways that you can create a vertical profile, and all this information gets saved in the drawing. So if you hit the Save button, then it'll be part of your CAD file. Thanks for your interest.